Mr. President, there has been a long discussion about how long you will stay and when you will organize elections. How long will the transition last? Is it today? Do you have an answer to this, or do you think it is not a priority? For you, how long will Captain Ibrahim Traore be in charge before organizing elections to step down?
I was going to ask you a question in return before answering you.
I'm not here to answer questions.
Sir, it's a debate. It's nice. If today, in 6 months, we decided to abandon the people, you, as a very objective man, aware of our situation, what would you say? What would your comment be?
Honestly, I prefer to stick to that, even though you know my true thoughts.
All right. Since we've been here, we haven't taken a single day off. The whole exec.
But when you say that, politicians say, this is our job, since there are those who do it. They do their job. We want to return to democracy. We want to go back to parliament with people who are elected. We want to let the people speak. Are we staying like this or setting up a new model? They learned here. We don't want them learning elsewhere and applying it here.
To put them on the right track. They learned their profession. This profession is... We don't want people to learn this profession elsewhere and come apply it here. We want to create a model. Because the way things are done here is in fact not the right way.
For you, sir, President, there's no question of talking about organization, about elections and transition.
Yes, we're going to organize the local elections right now.
So we need to reset everything.
No. Aside from the system that's in place, which needs to be reviewed, the elections, they concern all of Burkina Faso. Do you think they are ready today to go to Soleil, to Falangonto, to campaign like... But they are Burkina-based. They must definitely vote.
First, we need to get the wire through.
There needs to be a minimum level of security so that if there's a campaign, people can go everywhere in Burkina, explain their ideas to the Burkinabe people, and the people will choose, because it's no longer about distributing goods. There will be reforms on the electoral code. It's over, that's it. If you get caught up in this, you will be disqualified. Well, I'm not going to get ahead of Iran in the water, but I can tell you that there are reforms coming. This way of doing things, of buying people's consciences, is over. Our mission is to awaken people's consciousness so that they never accept this again. If you think you can govern the country, you need to explain your political program. What are you going to do? And maybe after a while, the people will evaluate whether you should continue your term or not. In short, we won't say everything, but there will be reforms in the electoral system. And to participate in the elections, all Burkinabés must vote.
President, aren't you afraid for yourself?
Afraid?
We lived through the period of Thomas Sankara. We know how it ended.
Yes, you're right. And that's the question everyone is asking. It's the fear of the Burkinabe people. When they think about it, they're always afraid for me. Personally, I'm not afraid. But we've analyzed the past. In some aspects, maybe President Thomas Sankara made mistakes. When he said, for example, well, friendship isn't betrayed.
Not.
Friendship, it's not up to us to betray friendship. Ultimately, it's up to them to decide whether or not to betray. I think that this sentence prevailed.
For you, he should have been on the offensive.
We will not make the same mistakes again, that's for sure.
Mr. President, when we see all of this, with all the logistics you're talking about, with the Russians being brought in to inform, as you mentioned, your troops, that's a lot of money. Can the economy, the Kinabe, hold up for a long time with that?
Very good question. That's a lot of money. That's why I say our countries are not poor. There has been misgovernance. There is theft, the plundering of our resources. That's it. That's what it's about. I'll give an example. Today there is the Patriotic Support Fund. The populations contribute. And we mainly support the volunteers for the defense of the homeland with that. But what about the rest of the army that we are equipping? All these resources that we are acquiring. That's it. That's governance, like finances. There are resources. We have potential. But if it's poorly managed, if you take the oil sector, you know that the state subsidizes oil, petroleum products, the fuels, the diesel, so that the Borg didn't have it cheaper. In 2022, for example, the sovereigns were around 400, almost 500 billion at dumb, 5 something. The state is making 500 billion from the lighthouses in 2023.
We're at less than 100 billion in subsidies, which means you've saved 400 billion.
How do you explain that when someone is running for elections, especially in Africa? Here, it's like a business. Gonna fund them. It's the norm here. They distribute tickets so that we vote for them. It's an investment. And as soon as he arrives, he has to pay.
Very electrifying speech from Ibrahim Traore, the captain himself, the king of Africa. But now, the leaders, the politicians want him to step down and let the Democrats, they want him to step down and let the democracy take its way. But now, if you are check about the keys and the facts that he was talking about, of course, you know, the politician always blackmail us just by using the word democracy. But no, democracy is a very major word. Democracy is a very important. Democracy is something that you do not have to play with, because democracy is like a seesaw. It cuts both sides, and if the democracy in any state or any country, the democracy is following its way, then it has to favor both sides, either the side of a common citizen and the people who are in government. They have to be all under democracy. But now, as Traore has said, how can you say that you need the democracy to take its way in the country while you find in a country you are killing millions of people, thousands of people are being killed, assassinations? When you find in some countries people are on their streets demonstrating, claiming their rights, you find the police and the government, the enforcement that is there, you find people are being killed, shot anyhowly. And now they claim to say that they need democracy. And now, as Traore has said, if that's the democracy that the politicians want to follow its way in our countries, then we don't need that democracy. There is no need of that democracy. It is better or good to live in the ways outside democracy, but in a way that every citizen is favored of. But like Captain, because he fearlessly says that he's not ready to step down unless the people who are concerned sit down, put some measures consider some reforms in a political manner, so that even if they decide now he wants to step down and let the people do their right of democracy to choose whoever they feel like he is better and he fit them, then people will do it with no doubt because they will be already satisfied to whoever they are going to elect and choose as their leader. That's a very, very, very fact and important fact that this guy has talked about. In any country, what brings the problems and brings the problem that always dissolve the government and the country is about the electoral boundaries. This is the major reasons why people are not getting what they expect from their leaders. You know, when you listen, or as you know, Ibrahim Traore, he is a captain. He was a captain. He came to power when he was 34 years, and now he's already he's already about to attain to 37 years. But now, if this guy was so greedy as the politician used to, then now the politician wants him to step down and let the people who are, and let the parliament controlled by the people who are elected by the citizens. It's okay. It's a democrat way, we understand, and that's the way that it should be. But now the question is, how do the citizens will benefit from these people who so-called the leaders, the elected leaders? How are they going to benefit from these people? Because we always know that the time of campaigns is the time when they come with sweet words and splash some monies. They buy our freedom. They buy even our destinies by 500, 1,000, 200. Then after election, after we elect them and they ascend to that power, they totally forget where they came from. They totally forget the people who sent them to the power. Every day we normally hear about the scandals in the government sectors, the scandals every day. Theft is happening at a high percentage in the governments. Any member who is holding any ministry in the government is responsible for any theft that is going there, but no one is there to follow them. There is no follow-up because these are the people who are controlling this everything. So I don't see any importance of these people, because there is a difference between the leaders and the politician. And even if you today you will be elected and become the member of parliament to a certain government, you will become the same as the people who are there. Because even if you as an individual decide to do the right thing against maybe 200 your fellow members, then they will feel like you are going against them. You are trying to crucify them. Ibrahim Traore has talked about the friendship in the government, the loyalty, and that's the cause why Thomas Sankara was assassinated, because he was just assassinated by his longtime friend, just because of greatness and power. So who do we have to believe? Who do we have to trust? How are we going to believe that if we do the right, we follow the right way of democracy, then we are going to benefit from the government we are going to make, or we are going to choose? How are we sure that we are going to benefit from the leaders who we have selected and sent them to the power, just to go and represent us and deliver according to our interests, we as the common citizens? That's the questions that we have to ask ourselves. So the politicians are the one who are forcing Ibrahim Traore to step down because of their interest, not because they love their country so much, so as they're bothered about the constitution and the democracy. No, there's nothing like democracy. What they are feeling is about their interests. That's why they are pushing so hard to make Ibrahim Traore step down. But now, if you can remember, in some few years, like 1 year ago, I remember it when the same politician tried to force Ibrahim Traore to step down. Then he was willingly ready to step down and let the constitution take its path. But the citizens themselves and the youth of the country came out in the streets and protest the protests that bring tension to the country, saying that Ibrahim Traore should extend his time of governance. Ibrahim Traore should extend his time as the head of state, as the president of Burkina Faso, because they are getting what they expected for a very long time, and they cannot allow just like that, very easy way, just for him to step down, let someone come who they already believe that he's coming because of his interest, but not because they are so bothered about the democracy and the constitution of the country. So if today we became the citizens of Burkina Faso, we could not allow this to happen, because the same people, the citizens, are the one who are benefiting, and they are the one who know the benefits from what they are getting from this leader, because it's not easy to get such leader. It is not easy. It is very rare and very hard, and you can never find. We have many countries in Africa. We have many presidents and head of states in Africa, but how many are delivering to his or her citizen? There are very few. You cannot mention the names up to 10. There are very few. So this is just like it's a luck to them. This is a luck these people of Burkina Faso get, and don't allow to lose the luck that you get, because this is the opportunity, and opportunity comes once. You have to use this opportunity until the time, when the time comes, and he personally allow to come to a point that he want to step down and let the democracy way to take its way, then at least he will bring a lot of reforms in the country. And maybe even those people who will be coming to be elected, they will be in fear, and they will be responsible. They will deliver to the citizen, because they will have to follow the steps that guy will be living. And it will be very hard to find them misbehaving to the people who ascended them to that power. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Is it right at this time for Ibrahim Traore to step down and let the democracy take its path, and let people vote for the people they feel like they deserve for him or her to be their head of state or their president? I feel like it is very early. My opinion is that the people of Burkina Faso should not allow this thing to happen, because they will regret. You will regret, and will wish to have someone like this, but you will never find. Let's not talk too much. Don't forget to subscribe to Kenyan Explorer. Here is the place to be. Here is the place we talk to the facts. If the leader is doing good, if he or she is delivering to the people whom they put their trust in, then we have to expose and to spread the positivity, because we have to talk about you, because you are delivering. And if you are not, and still we just talk and expose you negatively, either you are not came to announce yourself as the leader, but there are some people who made you to become the leader, to become what you are today. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. Stay tuned until next episode.